Hi, boys and girls. Welcome to week 4 of our at-home Sunday school series, Spring Renewal. And you can see out my window that the trees are budding. I got some beautiful pink flowers on our tree out there. It's just a beautiful spring day. A little chilly, but beautiful and sunny. So I am thankful to God for this beautiful weather that we're having. Spring is definitely here, and I'm so excited about it. Today, we're talking about the early believers. The early believers went out and told everybody about Jesus and his teachings. But in addition to that, other than just teaching and talking, they showed what Jesus taught by being kind to others, by providing others with what they needed, like food and clothing and shelter. So they put Jesus' teachings into action. And so that is just what we're called to do today, is to provide for others who are in need, and to certainly teach God's word, and to spread his word around to those we meet, but to teach, or go beyond teaching and be a good example. So we're going to do a little science experiment to kind of understand what this lesson is teaching us. So what you're going to need from your kit is the white yarn and the salt. And from home, you're going to just need some regular water and a cup of ice. So when the early believers started giving their food away, money away, whatever, to people in need, I'm sure those people looking on were just like thinking they were crazy. Like, why would you do that? But because they had the faith, they knew what Jesus was all about, they gladly helped those in need. But for just me as an individual to help somebody in need, I certainly can do that. I can provide dinner for somebody who's hungry, or invite somebody into my house. I can donate food to a food pantry. I can donate money to various causes. So I certainly, as an individual, can do many things. But when I work together with others, we can even do greater and bigger things. As a church community, we can put on a food drive. Instead of me donating a couple bags of food, we can donate hundreds of bags of food. So when we come together as a community and work together, as the early believers did, then we can do so much more. So trying to think that sometimes things seem a little impossible, we need to be open to miracles, and that when we do work as a group, sometimes the impossible can become possible. So I'm going to take my water and I'm going to fill up my cup of ice. Okay, so now this yarn represents me. And oops, I got 2 pieces of yarn. I just need one. And the ice represents the community that I'm trying to help. So I'm going to try and lift up the ice like I would be lifting up somebody that needed food by feeding them. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to put my string in here and try and only using, I can't pick the ice up with my fingers, only using the yarn. I'm going to try and lift up the ice. Oh, it's not working so well, is it? No. Let's see, maybe if I lay it across, will that work? Not so much, no. Okay, well, so in order to do big things, do what seems impossible, maybe I need a little help. So first off, in order for this to work, I'm going to make sure my string is nice and wet. And even though it's nice and wet, I still can't lift up the ice. So now I'm going to get some help from my community, from my fellow church members, from my fellow believers. And those are represented by the salt. If I could open up the salt. Okay. Open up the salt. So here I am trying to help somebody that's in need, or maybe a whole group of people that's in need, because I got a lot of ice cubes in there. And I can't do it on my own. So the community of believers is going to come help me. And I'm going to pour the salt over the string. And then sometimes, even though we'd like things to be really fast, it takes a little time. And you can't do everything overnight. So I'm going to set my timer for 1 minute, and we're going to let the salt and the ice and the string do its job. I should have had this already set up, but I didn't. Okay, 1 minute. Now we're going to start it. Clock is ticking. So, like I said, it'd be great if we could just snap our fingers and things would be all better for those people that are hungry or don't have shelter or whatever the need is at the time. But it takes some work, it takes effort, and it does take time to find good solutions for serious problems. So remember that. Don't get discouraged. And maybe our community puts on a big food drive and we give lots of food to the local food pantry, which is wonderful. But then people eat food and then they need more food. It's not just a limited problem. So maybe we try and find ways to do more than just provide food. Maybe we try and find out why the people don't have food. Maybe the mom or dad, needs a job or something. That might be, I'm gonna try and pause that. So, okay. Oh, geez, I apparently don't know how to use my phone. And that's a whole bigger problem that maybe we as individuals or even a church community can't help or can't solve, but there are other organizations that we can support that then can help solve those issues. So we just need to keep making our group bigger and bigger to solve the bigger and bigger problems. So let's see. Now, with the help of my community, can I solve my problem by trying to get the ice out of this water? Let me see. Slowly lift up. Oh my gosh. Isn't that not so cool? So my lonely string or yarn could not do this all by myself. I needed help in order to lift up the community, or I needed my community's help in order to lift up and help those in need. So through the help, when the salt and the string work together in relationship to the ice, then we were able to do the job at hand and lift the ice out of the water. There is certainly science involved in that, and it has to do with the melting point of the ice and the salt. And as I always say when we talk science, I am not a scientist, so that is a good thing to Google and do a little research about why that works. But when you're doing it, just remember that we as a church community should use the example of the early believers and work together to lift up and help those that are in need. So I hope you enjoyed doing this experiment on your own and just have a great time with it, and look around, see how what needs there are in your community and how you as an individual might be able to help, and maybe there's something bigger that you can bring to the community and to your church family to help solve some of those bigger problems. So until next week, have a fabulous week, and I will see you in a week. Thanks. Bye.